Checking out with our Michael Putney. He is at the Miami-Dade EOC with more from the Police Director, Juan Perez. Michael.
Kelvin and Lori, I am with Juan Perez, the Miami-Dade Police Director. Director Perez, your job and that of the Miami-Dade PD is obviously to protect, to serve, including people at the shelters. Is that what you are doing now, or are you doing administrative duties there as well?
So what we're doing is we're staffing the shelters to maintain the peace in there and to fill the gap of the National Guard that's being deployed over here. They haven't arrived yet, so we understood that there was, there was discussion that there was some of the shelters that weren't able to open because the appropriate staffing wasn't there, which included administration, humanitarian, service, and we're cops. And we adapt very well. This is an emergency, so under emergency services, emergency conditions, we will do whatever it takes to keep our people safe. So our residents that we work for, we love this community and we're willing to do whatever it is. So we came off the streets and brought people in. I already had people in Alpha Bravo, so we had the extra personnel.
12 on, 12 off.
Yeah, and we have the luxury that Storm's not here yet, so we have the extra personnel that we were assigning to do some functions that they normally don't do. So we just reassign them to go to those shelters and provide the assistance, do the humanitarian thing, help people through the process, and, give them areas within those shelters, and we'll manage it until we get relieved.
And how many Miami-Dade shelters are your men and women working at?
We took on 22. The last 22 that opened, we took on those 22 to provide staffing for.
Right. Ultimately, the mayor says there will be 43 shelters.
Correct.
By that time, you hope the National Guardsmen will be here?
Yes, they've told us they're already deploying the personnel here, but imagine a storm of this magnitude, the National Guard is also stretched very thin, so we got to work with the numbers we get and also wait for their assignments and their missions to be given out, and it takes them a little while to gear up, because when they deploy, they're deploying they're deploying to war or a humanitarian mission off somewhere else. It's the same issue for them. They bring all their gear and they have to be ready to sustain the entire time that they're going to be here.
Yeah, Director Perez, these shelters, some of them have up 2,000-3,000 people. I mean, these are like sudden little cities that spring up overnight. It's got to be hard to keep law and order there, or not? Or the people are good?
Funny you should mention that, because we're probably going to have to keep personnel in some of those shelters that have those numbers. Other shelters may only have 100 or less, and there's 2 school board officers that are assigned to each shelter. But I'm not going to leave 2 school board officers behind without enough personnel. So for those locations that have 3,000 people, we'll keep people there and assist.
All right. Well, Director Juan Perez, thank you for stopping and talking with us.
Always
and we know your men and women are out there doing a good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. All right. So there it is. There are going to be eventually 43 shelters, Calvin and Lori, in Miami-Dade. But the director says right now 22 are open, and they are being staffed by Miami-Dade Police Department people, as well as some people from the Red Cross and volunteers. But it has fallen to Miami-Dade Police Department officers to really run most of these shelters, apparently.
And